The sound of a single clock ticking. 80 years. Almost a lifetime. A span of time long enough for wounds to scar, for cities to be reborn from ash, for new generations to grow up in a world that has only ever known the story. But for some, the story is not a story. It is a memory. A sun that burned too brightly. A wind that stole the world. These are the Hibakusha, the bombed ones. The survivors of the atomic attacks on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Their numbers are dwindling. The hair that was once black is now silver. The hands that once clung to their parents now tremble with age. But as their numbers shrink, their voices, paradoxically, are growing louder. More urgent, more determined. I was a child. I remember the morning was beautiful, clear blue sky, the hum of the city waking up. I was playing outside with my friends. We saw the plane. It was just a tiny silver speck. We didn't think anything of it. Then there was a flash. Not a sound, just a light. A pica. A silent, blinding magnesium flare that swallowed everything. It was brighter than 1,000 suns. I remember putting my hands over my eyes, but I could still see the light through my fingers. I could see my own bones. Then the dawn, the roar. The world was thrown into the air. The sky turned from blue to orange to black in an instant. When I could see again, our city was gone. It was just rubble and fire. The people, they didn't look like people anymore. They were like ghosts, shuffling through the dust, their skin hanging off them in strips. The silence was the worst part. The silence after the blast, filled only with the soft cries of the dying and the crackle of endless fires. For years, that silence has been the loudest sound I know. That silence is now being broken. The Hibakusha are speaking out because they hear the echoes of the past in the rhetoric of the present. They watch the news and see world leaders speak of nuclear weapons not as an unthinkable horror, but as a strategic tool. A deterrent. A bargaining chip. And a cold fear grips them. A fear that the world has forgotten. My sister did not die that day. She died 3 years later. The bomb's poison was inside her. It worked slowly. We called it the invisible fire. One by one, my friends, my neighbors, they withered away. We who survived were marked. People were afraid of us. They thought we carried a disease. They didn't want to marry us or hire us. The bomb did not just fall on August 6th. It has been falling on us every day since. So when I hear people talk about a limited nuclear exchange or tactical nuclear weapons, my blood runs cold. There is no such thing as limited. There is no tactic. There is only the flash, and then the fire, and then the long, slow, poisonous silence. They have made these weapons a symbol of power, of national pride. For us, they are a symbol of absolute loss. They are the ghosts of our families. The shadows burned into the steps of a bank. The taste of metallic rain. They gather in schools, in community centers, in front of international committees. They hold up faded photographs. They point to their own scars, the ones you can see and the ones you cannot. Their message is simple, and it is unyielding. Look at me. Look at what this weapon does to a human being. Look at what it does to a city, to a family, to the future. We did this. Humanity did this to itself. And we are on the verge of forgetting the lesson we learned in blood and ash. This cannot be an option. This cannot be on the table. The only path to safety is the complete abolition of these weapons. Not reduction, not control. Abolition. Their frustration is palpable. For decades, many kept their stories to themselves, buried under the weight of trauma and societal stigma. But the rise of new nuclear threats from nations around the globe has lit a fire in them. It is a race against time, a race to imprint their memories onto the world's conscience before they are gone forever. My time is almost over. I am an old woman now. My story will end soon. But humanity's story must continue. We are not telling you this so you feel guilt. We are telling you this so you feel responsibility. The responsibility to know. The responsibility to choose a different path. We are the last who saw it with our own eyes. We are the living proof. When we are gone, you will only have our words. Please, listen to them. The clock ticks on. The survivors of Hiroshima and Nagasaki are a living bridge to a moment that must never be repeated. Their plea is not a whisper from the past, but a shout directed at our future. A desperate, powerful, and profoundly human call to reject the logic of self-destruction, and to remember the day the sun fell from the sky. My greatest fear is not my own death. My greatest fear is that a day will come when no one is left to say, "This must never happen again." Do not let our stories die with us. Remember, remember for all of us.